Hey everybody, I'm CaptnZap. Today, we're launching TNT with our snow skipper. We're gonna also launch ourselves and see how this looks on the other side. Woo! Oh, what the? Ah! Whoa, where are we? I wish I had cords on. Oh man! That was awesome. Anyway, welcome to the video. I hope you guys enjoy. Hey everybody, I'm CaptnZap. Welcome to the video. Today we're going to be doing the snow artillery and some other aspects of this that we can get going. Now, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what we got going here. I'm going to turn off these pistons though, and then we'll turn them back on and continue firing TNT and see our nice explosion at the end. Now, there's a couple modes to this. Right now we're doing basically two clusters of TNT sent together. The distance that we're on right now is 450 blocks, which is the max that you can get with this loaded snow artillery. I call it loaded because this one does not utilize chunk borders to send our payload at great distances. So the other artillery is going to be the unloaded artillery, and I'll probably have to do a separate video on that because I don't have the machine ready. But this machine is ready. So the loaded snow artillery with this amount of golems can fire 450 blocks. But if you want to go further, all you got to do is add more golems. It's roughly 100 blocks per golem. So if you want to go 800 blocks, so we just pile up 4 more golems and away you go. You'll have to do a little bit of extra redstone to get it there, but the rest of this can all stay the same. It's probably a lot bulkier than it needs to be, but I'm not especially good at compacting redstone because I don't know every technique there is out there. I just fought with this for a few hours, and this is kind of what I came up with that worked consistent, and it didn't blow itself up, because that is one thing that happens a lot with these machines, is blowing themselves up. So there's a couple different reasons for that. Now, okay, right there, that is one of my safety features that I've installed on this one, and that is the disarm. So these redstone lamps light up if there's TNT inside the dispensers here, which we have only 9. Let's fill it up again. So there'll be 2 redstone lamps at the front, just to let you know that she is got some payload in there, and so just don't hit any observers that you shouldn't be hitting, because it will ignite that. But if this is deactivated, then the clock timer thing won't activate any TNT if it's not supposed to. So this is disarmed, this is on, all 3 of these lights are on, that means the machine is armed and ready. So fire if we want to start construction. Now, I've added some stuff that really isn't necessary, like these lights. A lot of these lights are not necessary, but I like to know what cycle of the firing we're on. So if we're on the firing of loading TNT, then these will light up and tell me that, yep, we got TNT coming in there. And then we also have the lights that tell us when we're filling the snow, and then other lights up here to tell us when we're actually firing the piston that pushes the payload and the propellant. Back here we have a sort of ethos clock. I think that's what this is. I kind of just put this together to my best ability. 2 dispensers looking into each other with a certain amount of snow, and those are activated by this redstone block being pushed back and forth, and then we can just build off that timer using this to activate one or the other. And then we have a burnout clock here, and this burnout clock is what activates the entire firing system. And the burnout clock will also deactivate the timer while it's firing so that we don't add any more snow into there. Although adding snow in during the firing system is going to be handy if we wanted to, lay out our payload. The only problem is if we start pushing these pistons while there's TNT in here, we're going to end up pulling that TNT out. So if you wanted to add propellant mixed in with your payload to sprawl that payload out in a linear fashion, we could only activate the top. If you had more than 4, you could activate all of the top ones. But this one, it would be the top 2 golems that we could activate to get a sprawled up propellant. And there we see the 2 payloads. Yeah, they're pushed nicely. It's very consistent. I haven't had any misfires since I got this kind of system nailed down. One of the main reasons for misfiring is if this back piston here fires before all the TNT is dispensed, then we're not going to get everything launched. Something's going to be left behind to blow everything up. Another problem is these redstone or these sticky pistons grab the TNT and blow everything up. So this system I have here is, I would say, consistent enough that I would be able to survive and feel confident that it will work fine. You see the lights that light up that tell us which one's the fire station. Now, like I said before, you're going to have this line of snow wherever you build this, which is kind of fun. I kind of like it. You know, your face is being destroyed and it looks like it's coming from snow. I had trouble naming this machine, so I'm just calling this one the loaded snow artillery and then the other one the unloaded snow artillery. But I was trying to think of a cool name of along the lines of some sort of comet, because you know comets have a white tail behind them, and so does this payload. Alright, so we've got, I did a little bit of an update here on the machine here just since my last recording. I actually blew that one up, so this is a, this is a whole new one. Anyway, I wanted to add one more small system on top here to help us add extra snow while we're putting the TNT here to help us lay that TNT out in a few blocks. And then also, we're going to add a system to let us be able to send a payload at a certain distance and then extend that by 1 block further, actually 4 blocks further, to start the next load of payload, so that we can kind of have like this long sprawling setup, which normally we can only get with the unloaded artillery. But you know, we're gonna have to send each specific payload one after another, whereas the artillery, the unloaded artillery, we can lay it all out in a straight line. But it's still possible. So all we're going to do is up here, we have this little system that's going to break this line, because this is going to turn this all off so that these don't activate while the TNT is being dispensed, because these pistons will pull it out. But we want to activate these ones. And the simplest way I found to do that was just to have this cycle, break that off, so that we can get some sort of a remote. Anyway, you'll see once it's firing. But the other thing I want to add is the ability to add one item to the timer so that the next time we send a payload, it's a little bit further down the line. So let's see how many we've got here. Let's pull everything out. Let's start fresh. Okay, let's say that 2 stacks is the furthest we're going to go. No, let's say a stack and a half. Oh, I thought I shut this off. Oh, we've got a bad cycle here. How do we break this? Right here. We need this to stay open. Okay, so I need that. I actually need to leave that there. I don't know why that happened, but that would have blown up the machine if we had any TNT in there. So that's why it is important to... it's at least empty. That's why it's important to not have it armed if you're not ready to start firing. If you're messing around with this stuff, disarm it before you do this. Okay, so what we want to do is take a dropper and put it right here, and then we're going to put a hopper right here. And then what this is going to do, every time it finishes one of these timing cycles, oh wow, no, we want to add a maximum of 8 more into there. So that way we'll be able to sprawl this out between, I don't know, 30 some blocks. So the explosion should be long and big, so that'll be awesome. Let's turn this on. Let's arm it with some TNT. I think a stack on each side is enough. Let's get another stack actually. And then I'm going to let this run through, and then we're going to go and look at the explosion. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out a good way to be able to get into all these components comfortably for survival. I mean, realistically, you'd be building this and then firing everything off, and I would honestly just break it all and fly away and pretend I was never there. But I don't know, maybe you could build these on your base and have it set so that if somebody starts loading your base, it's automatically going to have... Oh, you could actually have TNT ready chunks with TNT. That would be kind of cool. One of my other ideas was to try and add shrapnel to the device, and I haven't. I'll probably work this out with the unloaded artillery because I think it's a little complicated, and I've already kind of put a whole lot of complication into this, but I want to be able to put TNT in here, and then I want to be able to fire a ton of arrows. Because I have this feeling that if you launch the arrows and the TNT, everything together, the TNT is going to do this awesome explosion, and then the arrows are also going to do this awesome spread and do some shrapnel damage. That's what I'm picturing. And a lot of times things just explode from what I'm picturing to actually building it. But that's what I'm going to try and hope for. Maybe one of you guys could figure that out before I could. I'm kind of hopeful on that. Okay, so let's see here. We've got 8 items that we're going to be adding into this timer to extend the damage. Probably, I don't know how much further it's going to extend, but it should scroll it a bit, giving us an extra area of damage. So let's fire this up, and then I'm going to zip out there and load it in. The machine is armed and ready to fire, ready to do some damage. I'm kind of wondering if we can shoot arrows through the Yes, 2.5 stacks. That TNT makes me nervous every time. Let's see, so that was another cycle. And still 3, yeah. Oh, this is so good. I would just love to focus on survival. Oh man. Just raining destruction on somebody. So really, we've dumped about a stack of TNT out there. Okay, I think that's good. What do you think? I think I'm gonna disarm it. First thing I should do is disarm it. Anytime you have TNT in here, disarm it before you do anything with the timer, because if you go and mess with the timer and it accidentally just hits the end of it and starts firing, I don't know, you might be exploding your whole machine. But I mean, if you've already sent all your TNT, then whatever. Let's see. Boom. Okay. Disarm this. Let's just go. Let's see. Whoa. Oh, yes! That was insane. So that was roughly a stack, maybe a little bit more of TNT. I think that's going to be about it for this video. I haven't done any tutorials on this kind of stuff yet, but you did kind of see a good look at it, so I'm sure a lot of you can figure that out from there, and probably a lot of you can come up with a better system than what I have. I kind of just more want to submit, the idea of what we want to do. We want to destroy. Anyway, if you guys like the video, then hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you so much for 300 subscribers. I really like to see new people coming in, and I hope that people can enjoy this. One of the things that I would love to see is just where can we take this technology and do something that I could have never thought of. I can't wait to start seeing that stuff come out. I'm pretty pumped about that. Anyway, thank you guys. I think the next video will be the unloaded artillery, which will have essentially an endless limit to its range, pretty much depending on your device. If you've got an iPhone 14 like me, 20,000 gravity blocks was pushed. 20,000 blocks was like a half an hour, 45-minute wait for that to just load 2 or 3 ticks of computing. So if you have a PC, you can probably do that a lot better. But I'm a mobile content creator, so everything I build, edit, and play is all on mobile, and in fact, all on iPhone. Anyway, thank you guys so much for all the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye!